Ever since I donned the moniker of the Danger Rangers historian, I've been juggling many subjects of interest to look into. Between the stage show at Dutch Wonderland, the hospital PSAs, the XM radio spots, and the Korean dub, there's one small facet that I had the least amount of information on. All I had was a small bit of text and a broken JPEG. That's right, I wanted to figure out what exactly was Adventures In. In the Danger Rangers Iceberg video, I made the assumption, based on the name alone, that it was some sort of indoor amusement center in the vein of Great Wolf Lodge. While that didn't make too much sense, given what Educational Adventures had originally set out to do, it was the only guess I could make. But my journey to find out the truth about Adventures In led me to a goldmine of information that not only gave me my answer, but revealed a bunch of other things Warren Smith wanted to do outside of Danger Rangers. Welcome to the deep dive into Educational Adventures' trademark listings. As a refresher, a trademark refers to a word, phrase, symbol, or design, or any combination thereof, that identifies your good or service. This isn't exactly the same thing as a copyright. Copyright is more or less protection of an original work. A lot of what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video didn't actually come to light, so a copyright was never technically generated for these things. They just had the proper identification for it. You can easily look up trademarks and patents on the website for the United States Patent and Trademark Office, or USPTO for short, which is what I ended up doing. Looking Educational Adventures up on this website, I found a few interesting things right off the bat. The company last filed trademarks on May 14, 2008, right on the cusp of the lawsuit that would result in liquidation. The earliest known trademark was for Danger Rangers itself on June 5, 2000. After that, trademarks would pick back up starting in 2004, right around the time of the pilot. It wasn't until 2006 that non-Danger Rangers trademarks began cropping up. Starting with as expected, the first result was the fabled Adventures In, the only one to get as far as the Educational Adventures website, broken JPEG and all. So, what lies within this trademark document? What was the actual concept for Adventures In? Is it actually a Great Wolf Lodge-esque idea? Nope. The answer is, if what I'm saying is correct, a brand new animated series. Down in the goods and services description, we have 3 descriptions on display, giving us more indications of what was in store. The first is pre-recorded video discs, cassettes, and tapes featuring educational programming for children, which, in this case, would likely mean home media releases like DVDs. The other 2 are self-explanatory: children's books, magazines, and comics, and toys, namely stuffed animals, action figures, and board games. Hey, didn't Danger Rangers get all those things? DVDs, books, and stuffed animals? If this trademark is correct, Adventures In would have been Educational Adventures' second animated series. Any other information about it is still pretty much unknown. I couldn't find anything related to the characters, plots, or general concepts. I don't even know what the educational aspects would be. Would this be another safety-oriented show? Would it be for the same age range? Would it be for younger kids? Older kids? Teenagers, maybe? With the only instance of Adventures In on the old Educational Adventures website permanently broken, I can't in good confidence give anything more concrete at this time. Maybe Mike remembers. Okay, this one's weird. With a name like Philantopia, you'd think this is, I don't know, a utopia for philanthropists? Maybe it's a service for them? A place where they can mingle? No. Educational Adventures' Philantopia was going to be a music service? Yeah, a music service for training purposes. Mainly in the area of sporting and cultural activities. What? Music service plus sports training? Yeah, I got nothing. Educational Adventures' Extreme Quest seems to come the closest to something meant for a more mature audience, in this case, teenagers and young adults. What sounds like an animated series from the late 90s, Extreme Quest would have been another service similar to Philantopia, though this would be a music and video service, again for sporting and cultural activities. With a name like Extreme Quest, I'm imagining something along the lines of BMX racing or rock climbing? So maybe something along the lines of music videos about motocross, biking safety or something? You know, at least I have a better idea of what Extreme Quest could have been just through the name. If Extreme Quest was obviously geared toward older audiences, Educational Adventures' Infantastics runs in the complete opposite direction. According to the trademark documents, Infantastics would have been Educational Adventures' third animated series. Simply going by the name, I'm getting a baby superheroes vibe from it. And if the past has given any indication, this is not a good idea. But you want to know the craziest thing about this one? Educational Adventures filed for this name twice. Once in 2006 and once in 2008. Okay, somehow they filed it multiple times in 2008. Either way, Infantastics sure was a thing that almost got made. I'm not saying spin-off, but Reading Rangers definitely sounds like a spin-off. So instead of teaching safety, the Rangers teach reading comprehension? Actually, the trademark document specifies this as being a live-action series project with costume characters. So, would the Danger Rangers mascot suits play a role in this? If this is indeed a Danger Rangers related spin-off? Or maybe there were going to be new characters set in the same world. I don't know why, but this sounds ripe for fanfic, and I should probably stop there before I go overboard with speculation. Educational Adventures' Fitness Safari is easily the most blunt, to-the-point trademark I've ever seen. Fitness Safari seems to have been meant to be an animal-themed fitness show. It doesn't exactly specify it as another live-action series, but the inclusion of live costume characters seems to indicate this might be the case. Depending on the exact age range for Fitness Safari, we're looking at something similar to Mousercise, where a human fitness instructor acts alongside people in mascot suits. Honestly, this could definitely be revisited by a different party. We could definitely use a new fitness show aimed at kids right now. The further we go into these trademarks, the more we start straying from the original mindset of what Moore and Smith set out to do. Case in point, Educational Adventures' Destination Exploration. To me, this sounds like a travel show you would see on the Discovery Channel. Once again, we have indication of costume characters running around, so I think it's safe to say we found a recurring theme here. Not sure if this is another live-action project, though I highly doubt they'd have the personal budget to go globetrotting. If this is another animated series, I could see it being something similar to Let's Go Luna, with the costume character aspects as part of a promotional tie-in. Okay, this is what, our 6th or 7th possible series now? How many more concepts you got in there, Moore? Oh, this is the last one? Cool. Anyways, Educational Adventures' Zooniversity. For reasons unknown, my first thought was, my gym partner's a monkey, but they're in college. That's literally all I got. Anthro animals in college. I see that this is yet another, maybe it's a cartoon, maybe it isn't, song and dance, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's a show that teaches kids about animals, maybe? You try coming up with interpretations of titles and maybe a shred of info in these things. Alright, we are saving the most bonkers for last. Now on first inspection, you're probably thinking this is just a trademark for the name Savo, the artificial intelligence voiced by Charlie Adler with all the snark that comes with him. But with a filing date of January 2008, that seems way too late to trademark a character name. Oh no, what we have here is... well, I'll let the documentation speak for itself. Savo trademark registration is intended to cover the categories of wearable electronic device for children to assist in the prevention of harm, namely an electronic tracking and monitoring device comprised of a transmitter worn on the ankle or wrist of a child to monitor and report location. Holy crap! You're telling me that Educational Adventures was planning on releasing a, what I assume to be a show accurate, Savo watch that not only acted as a toy, but doubled as a tracking device for kids. That is both cool and fucked up at the exact same time. On the one hand, having a show accurate anything from the show would be perfect to go alongside my Danger Rangers custom uniform. On the other hand, child tracking device. Okay, I get that it would have been an admittedly ingenious way to combat parents losing their kids in public places, but disguising it as a toy from a cartoon they enjoy watching? Look, I'm not a parent, but doesn't that sound just a tad bit invasive? Unless the kid is told up front that it tracks their every move so their parents can keep an eye on their location, why can't you just make a toy Savo watch and let it just be a toy Savo watch? There's nothing wrong with making a few toys here and there. No joke, I would totally buy a replica of the airship. If there's one thing that can be gathered from these trademark filings, Moore, Smith, and the rest of the Educational Adventures team had a lot more off in the woodworks than initially thought. Adventures In was only a tiny peek behind the scenes. I can't say for sure how many of these would have actually seen the light of day if the company wasn't liquidated in 2008. With everything going on at the same time, it seems Educational Adventures was counting their chickens before they hatched. Danger Rangers might have gotten their foot in the door, but with upwards of 6 or 7 new possible series being trademarked, it gives off the impression that they were tossing out ideas left and right and seeing what would stick. I could be grossly oversimplifying things, since I'm not an expert in trademarks or trademark law, but this whole thing just fascinates me to no end. To think we could have seen an animated series with the tagline, "From the creators of Danger Rangers," that's the kind of scenario I had never thought about until I began looking into these trademarks. But since these were just trademarks, we have next to nothing to go on about what they would have been like. When all we got are names and brief descriptions, all we can do is speculate.